Hey everyone! Today we're exploring another chilling and disturbing case. If you'd like to support the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay engaged. It really means a lot. I truly appreciate it. Now, take a deep breath and let's dive in. She walked into her wedding night as a bride and never walked out alive. Dubai's most glamorous love story ended in blood, and what the groom discovered that night could destroy more than just one marriage. Layla Hassan was 28, stunning and ambitious. Born in Cairo, she had left her modest beginnings behind to chase the glittering promise of Dubai. Friends say she was charming, polished, and always had an air of mystery. When she met Omar Khalid, heir to a multi-million-dollar construction empire, it seemed like fate. Omar was smitten. Layla was everything his family expected in a wife, or so they thought. March 12, 2023. The ballroom dripped in gold and crystal. Guests arrived in designer gowns. The menu boasted 7 courses, and the couple's entrance was fit for royalty. Cameras flashed, champagne flowed. It was a night of perfection. But by dawn, the hotel suite would be a crime scene. At 8:47 a.m., hotel housekeeping unlocked the Khalid honeymoon suite. Inside, the room was eerily still. Layla lay motionless on the bed, her wedding dress discarded on the floor, a silk tie wrapped tightly around her neck. Her jewelry was scattered, her phone missing, and Omar was gone. Dubai police arrived within minutes. The surveillance footage showed Omar storming out of the suite at 2:14 a.m., looking pale and frantic, clutching his phone. What had happened in those silent, deadly hours? Detectives quickly uncovered a lead. An anonymous message sent to Omar's phone minutes before he left the suite. The contents? Confidential photographs and voice recordings hinting that his bride had been living a double life, one involving a powerful married politician, luxury gifts, and a secret $2 million life insurance policy. But before police had confirmed the sender, Omar had disappeared, leaving behind a web of lies, betrayal, and unanswered questions. Was this a crime of passion or a cold-blooded setup? And was Omar the only one with something to hide? Omar Khalid didn't just run from a crime scene. He vanished into thin air. And as detectives dug deeper into the murder of Layla Hassan, they realized the groom might not be the only one with blood on his hands. Interpol was alerted within 48 hours. Rumors swirled. Some claimed Omar fled on a yacht to Oman. Others insisted he boarded a private jet to Cyprus under a false name. But no confirmed sightings emerged until investigators received a grainy CCTV image from Muscat. A man matching Omar's description, wearing sunglasses and a baseball cap, checking into a luxury resort. By the time police arrived, he was gone. While the hunt continued, detectives examined Layla's past. The anonymous message that triggered Omar's rage was traced to an unregistered phone, but the voice on the recording belonged to someone very close to the couple. Then came the bombshell. The $2 million life insurance policy taken out by Layla's secret lover wasn't the only one. 3 weeks before the wedding, Omar had secured a $5 million policy on Layla, and the beneficiary was not him, it was his mother. With 2 massive payouts in play, police began questioning everyone in Layla's inner circle. The politician lover, who now feared exposure of his affair. Omar's mother, who stood to inherit millions. A disgruntled bridesmaid, who told police she knew this marriage wouldn't last a week. The more they searched, the less certain they were that Omar had acted alone, or at all. Security footage revealed something chilling. Between the time Omar left the suite at 2:14 a.m. and the time housekeeping found Layla's body, there was a 45-minute gap where someone else entered the room using a duplicate key card. If Omar didn't kill Layla, then who did? And was her death the result of love gone wrong, or a calculated hit for millions in life insurance money? For weeks, the murder of Layla Hassan seemed like the tragic result of a husband's rage. But the deeper investigators dug, the more it became clear. Omar Khalid wasn't the only one with a motive. And in Dubai's high society, motives often come wrapped in silk and buried under millions. Investigators traced the second key card used to access the honeymoon suite. It hadn't been registered to any hotel staff. Instead, the signature on the key log matched the handwriting of Omar's own mother, Samira Khalid. When questioned, Samira denied everything, until police obtained security footage from a hotel service elevator. At 3:02 a.m., a woman in a black abaya, face partially covered, was seen heading to the top floor, carrying gloves. Samira finally admitted she had been in a hotel that night, but she claimed it was to retrieve a wedding gift. Investigators didn't buy it. Forensic tests on the silk tie used to kill Layla revealed traces of a rare French perfume, the same one Samira was known to wear. Still, with no eyewitness, prosecutors hesitated. They needed more than circumstantial evidence. While Samira was under watch, Layla's secret lover, the married politician, fled to London. But before he left, a private investigator uncovered a shocking link. Samira and the politician were longtime business partners. Together, they had arranged Layla's marriage to Omar, knowing both insurance policies would activate within months. Layla's death wasn't a spontaneous act of rage. It was a planned execution. Police finally located Omar in Oman. Expecting to arrest him, they instead found a terrified man, claiming he left the hotel after receiving the anonymous message, and that he believed his own mother had orchestrated the murder. But before he could give a full statement, Omar made a chilling claim. "You're looking in the wrong place. My mother didn't act alone. Someone in Layla's family wanted her gone too. Was this a joint conspiracy between two powerful families? And if so, who was truly pulling the strings?" When Omar Khalid claimed someone in Layla's own family wanted her dead, investigators thought it was a desperate attempt to shift blame. But the truth would be far darker than anyone imagined. Detectives traveled to Cairo, where Layla's parents lived in a modest but suspiciously renovated home. Neighbors whisper about sudden wealth, new cars, expensive jewelry, and a private driver. When questioned, Layla's younger brother, Kareem, admitted that months before the wedding, he had met with Omar's mother, Samira, in Dubai. His words were chilling. "She promised us a life we could never afford if Layla agreed to the marriage." Investigators uncovered a written agreement between Samira and Layla's family, disguised as a business investment worth $500,000. In reality, it was a bribe for Layla's parents to persuade her into marrying Omar, with the understanding that the marriage wouldn't last long. But Kareem revealed something else. His sister had grown suspicious of the arrangement and threatened to cancel the wedding just days before the ceremony. The night of the murder, phone records show multiple calls between Samir and Kareem, all within the window Layla was killed. Forensic evidence later tied Kareem's fingerprints to a champagne bottle in the suite, one that wasn't served at the wedding reception. The theory? Kareem entered the suite after Omar stormed out, confronted his sister, and finished what Samira had started, ensuring both families could collect the insurance payouts. When confronted, Kareem claimed he was in Cairo that night, but investigators obtained flight records proving he had flown into Dubai under a false name and left hours after Layla's death. Still, without a confession, the case remained circumstantial until one more piece of evidence surfaced. A hotel employee came forward, claiming they saw a third person enter the suite that night, someone who didn't belong to either family. For weeks, the murder of Layla Hassan seemed tangled between two families, millions in life insurance, and a disappearing groom. But the newest witness didn't point to the Khalids or the Hassans. They pointed to a stranger, a person who should never have been in that hotel suite. A night shift concierge told police that at 3:45 a.m., a tall man in a gray suit approached the service elevator with a master key card. He wasn't part of the wedding, wasn't on the guest list, and wasn't a hotel employee. When asked, the concierge remembered one chilling detail. He was carrying a black leather case, like the kind lawyers use. But when it swung open for a second, I saw what looked like rope. Using security logs, investigators matched the key card to a corporate account reserved under a Dubai law firm, a firm known for representing the city's most powerful political figures. The man's identity? Sealed. The hotel refused to release the guest list, citing client confidentiality. But one thing was clear. His arrival happened after Omar left and before Kareem suspected entry. A break came when a cleaner found a cigarette, but in the suite's balcony ashtray. DNA testing revealed it didn't belong to Layla, Omar, Kareem, or Samira. The profile was linked to a man named Yusuf Al-Rami, a private security consultant and former military interrogator. Yusuf had no apparent connection to the families, but phone records showed dozens of calls between him and the married politician who had been Layla's secret lover. Just 48 hours before the wedding, Yusuf's bank account received a $150,000 transfer from a shell company tied to the politician's business empire. Investigators began to suspect that Yusuf wasn't a wedding guest. He was a hired enforcer. If true, the murder wasn't just about family greed. It was about silencing Layla before she could expose the politician's affair and possibly his corruption. But then came the final twist, the one that turned the investigation on its head. Forensic analysis of Layla's phone, recovered weeks later, revealed she had been recording her wedding night. And the video didn't end when Omar stormed out. For months, the truth behind Layla Hassan's death was buried under layers of lies, greed, and betrayal. But a single recording, found deep inside her phone, would expose the final moments of her life and name her killer. The footage begins hours after the wedding. Layla, still in her gown, sets her phone on the bedside table. She's pacing, crying, whispering into the camera. He knows. Someone sent him everything. I don't know who I can trust anymore. Minutes later, the door slams. Omar storms out, his voice shaking with rage. The room is silent, until a knock at the door. Layla answers. It's Kareem, her younger brother. He steps inside, glancing nervously at the phone, without realizing it's recording. He tries to calm her, but their conversation turns into an argument. Layla shouts, "You sold me to them. You knew what they were planning." Kareem leaves abruptly. The tension in the room is suffocating. 5 minutes later, the door opens again. A tall man in a gray suit enters. Yusuf al-Rami. He doesn't speak at first. He closes the curtains, locks the door, and places a black leather case on the bed. From it, he pulls out a coil of rope and a pair of gloves. Layla steps back, terrified. "Please, they don't have to know. I'll leave. I won't say anything." Yusuf doesn't respond. He moves forward. The camera catches only fragments. Layla backing toward the balcony. Yusuf lunging. The sound of furniture toppling. Then the image jerks as the phone is knocked to the floor. The last thing visible is Yusuf tightening a silk tie around her neck and a faint perfume lingering in the air. With the video, prosecutors tied Yusuf directly to the murder. Under interrogation, he admitted he had been hired by the politician to handle the situation before Layla could leak sensitive documents about government contracts, documents she'd obtained through their affair. The politicians, Samira Khalid and Kareem Hassan, were all charged in a conspiracy that spanned 2 countries, 2 families, and millions in blood money. Omar, clear of the murder, testified against them, but the politician vanished before trial, reportedly escaping on a private jet to a country with no extradition treaty. Layla Hassan's death wasn't just the end of a love story. It was a warning that in a world of wealth and power, the truth is often the first casualty. And as for the man who ordered her death, he's still out there, untouchable, watching. What are your thoughts on this case? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated with more stories, where each case isn't just about crime, but also offers a lesson for life.